Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick video on 50 Cent. You know, 50 Cent, when you got beef with 50 Cent, watch out. Cause he won't let up off your neck. He said Jay-Z tried to blackball him from performing at the Super Bowl. I want to say he said it was. And of course, you know that he's on Diddy's neck, and he said he stopped messing with Diddy ever since Diddy asked him one time, and we heard this story over and over again. Let me take you shopping. He was like, what kind of nonsense is that? He said, that's something a man says to a woman, not a man saying that to a man. So he knew right then and there he would never, ever go to a Diddy party because he said it was some weird stuff and he wasn't having it. So let me go ahead and share screen. This article in the Hollywood Reporter is a really good article with 50 Cent and people that is really $3.5 million in cash. Listen, that's doing it the only way that it can be done, the 50 way. He's so messy, okay? And then he wore his green. So 50 Cent on Conquering TV, his beef with Diddy, and why he brought $3.5 million to our photo shoot. The rapper mogul on building a television empire, producing a Netflix doc on his nemesis Sean Combs, and why he was finally invited to the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. They couldn't get Eminem to do it without me. So he's saying that Jay-Z tried to block him from doing it, but Eminem hooked them up and pretty much said, I ain't doing this show without 50. So Curtis 50 Cent Jackson 49th birthday was 3 days ago, but he's still in celebratory mode. If there was any questions as 50 nears 50, whether he's still at the top of his game, the answer arrives with him at the photo shoot for this story. The rapper turned mobile brings $3.5 million in cold hard cash. Most of his stuff into two heavy black suitcases. Some is assembled into a square stool that he sits on while smoking a cigar. Every now and then, as he poses for photos, he digs into the stash and adds a few more stacks to the table beside him. And those on set watching all, including the four security guards Jackson arrived with. The doors are locked shut and the window shades are closed for maximum privacy. That's the way you do it. Okay, that's the way you do a cover if you can, and if you're 50, and if you're a rapper. Okay, so asked whether he had to visit the bank to get the funds, Jackson says with a relaxed smile, I just had that. I got more than that. Then as that I was inspired to bring it by Muhammad Ali, referring to the 1964 Sports Illustrated cover for which the 22-year-old boxer posed with 1 million in winnings. I was like, I want to do a shoot like that. Suffice it to say, business is good for Jackson. Power, the Courtney Kemp created series he executive produced, launched a run of hits for Stars after its 2014 debut, going 6 seasons and leading to multiple spin-offs, including Ghost and Raising Cain, each renewed for its own fourth season, and Force renewed for a third. His other series for Stars, BMF, that's a Black Mafia family, recently wrapped its third season, and marrying the Power franchise is expanding into its own universe Stars, which says Power programs and BMF average about 10 million multi-platform viewers per episode. Relies on Jackson for unrelated series as well. His company is producing upcoming shows like boxing drama Fightland and Queen Nzinga about an African warrior queen. Can't wait to see that. Many executive producers are executive producers in name only who start off, go to initial pitches, get things going, and then move on to their many other projects, says Kevin Beggs, chair of Lionsgate Television Group. Given the scope of 50's portfolio, one could easily assume that it might be more of the vanity play, but it is just not the case. He is hands-on, super involved, really collaborative. He's an inspirator. He's a promoter. He's a creative force that's working closely with the writers and showrunners. Listen, that's why he is doing well. That's why he's successful. Jackson's G Unit Film and Television Company has several shows in development for Hulu, Paramount, Peacock, and BT. And he's now bringing some of the most famous music collaborations into the fold for projects like a series based on 2002's 8 Mile with Eminem, who first signed Jackson and helped release his debut album in 2003. 50 is like a brother to me, says Eminem, whose guest starred on season one of BMF in an episode directed by Jackson. 50 has proven again and again that there's really nothing he can't do, and nobody gets in the way of him getting it done. Jackson is also working on an animated series for Amazon's Freebie called Lady Danger Agent of Booty. Okay, with Nicki Minaj. He's a blueprint to what resilience looked like. Minaj tells THR, okay, the Hollywood Reporter, whenever he's been counted out in the world or within the entertainment business, he's risen to the occasion and come out triumphant. He's smart. He's a businessman. I can see past the funny 50. I see a very deep thinker. He's honest. He's mastered the chess game of reinvention throughout many eras of music, entertainment, and social media. Yet he still somehow seems to remain authentic. That's a very difficult feat. On top of all this, Jackson is lost in a fast channel, building a film studio in Shreveport, Louisiana, and also a former New York Times bestseller, releasing a novel about a Black female Texas Ranger. So yes, the rapper is a full-fledged media mogul, through the one who is rarely out of the news cycle, often for other reasons. Case in point, in reaction to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, what took place after this interview. The entertainer began to trend on social media with viral memes featuring the former president's face and posed on the cover of Jackson's debut album cover, a reference to Jackson being pow pow 9 times in a driveway by shooting in 2000. The virality met his 2003 track "Many Men Wish Death," which includes the refrain, "Many men wish death upon me," saw a recent 250% streaming bump. Jackson hasn't publicly said who he is supporting in November, but in 2020, he said he planned to back Trump over Joe Biden, a decision criticized on social media, though he later clarified his stance, F Donald Trump, I never liked him. And then there's Diddy, about whom Jackson is producing a doc for Netflix. An avid social media user, Jackson has been trolling Sean Combs for years. More on that below. Upping the intensity as Combs faces several lawsuits over allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking. Combs had denied the accusations. I've been very vocal about not going to puffy parties and doing S like that, says Jackson, who first met Combs as an unassigned artist and helped ghostwrite some of his songs, including Let's Get It, the 2001 top rap hit. I've been staying out of that S for years. It's just an uncomfortable energy connected to it. He describes watching a gruesome video of Bad Boys Records founder attacking Cassie, Diddy's girlfriend at the time, and whose now settled lawsuit against him set off an avalanche of legal woes. First, he denied it even happened, and then the tape comes out. So that means everything that Ninja says is a lie, Jackson says. When someone watches that, if they have a daughter and they can imagine her being under those circumstances, that S is crazy. Like, let them get away with it. With all the influence and power you have, a person you're with is supposed to want to be part of your night, not be forced. On board to make the Netflix Diddy documentary series is Emmy-winning filmmaker Alice Stapleton, whose credits include Shut Up and Dribble and Hello Privilege. It's Me, Chelsea. As partners, we have the same goal: to tell a story that is authentic, multi-layered, and deeply engaging for a global audience, which has followed and lived with this still unfolding story for over 30 years, Stapleton tells The Hollywood Reporter. Sitting down with The Hollywood Reporter, the $3.5 million now packed back into these suitcases, Jackson talks about his growing empire, the Diddy doc, and why he almost left out of the legendary 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. 50 turns 50 next year. How are you feeling about this stage in your life? I feel great, man. I had the most amazing birthday. I was in Canada. I was supposed to be performing for them, and they were performing for me. I came out, it was like a beach club. And then Destiny was like, holy, you know what? This is '03, the year he released the multi-platinum debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying. I said, God damn, hold up. This was the best birthday I had. I have a lot of stuff I got to accomplish over this year. I got to go make I've got to not make mistakes and be completely on it. This year I'm going to get work done. I'm going to F up last. I'll keep myself out of little BS. What made you want to produce a docu-series on Diddy? I'm the only one from hip hop culture that produced quality projects. We do have a lot of talent within our culture where the talent has developed a comfortability in front of the camera. So they're usually a part of it as an actor or a driving force of why someone would watch the project, not the behind the scenes production, producing the whole project. So there's the difference. Over the years, you made a point of not attending Diddy's parties. Was that because somebody told you the energy there was off, or did you go to something that felt odd? He asked to take me shopping. I thought it was the weirdest thing, with the weirdest stuff in the world, because that might be something that a man says to a woman, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not effing with this weird energy or weird shit. Coming off the way he was just moving from that, I wasn't comfortable around him. I know you and Diddy had collaborated on a few songs. Were you ever friends? It was mostly work. I wouldn't call it a friendship because there wouldn't be disappointment between us if we didn't speak to each other. There's points that we worked together. Jennifer Lopez actually told him he should work with me as a songwriter in the beginning, and I was around at the early stages, and he could have done my record deal at that point. This is following me being shot up. The Trackmasters deal at Columbia Records where Lopez was signed, and I was just getting back to work, and he called me to write. I remember Diddy would call and my son's mom would answer, and I didn't want to get on the phone like, no, 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 no. And she was like, what the F? We need money. She's looking at me like, what? Why don't you want to talk to him? I didn't ever party or hang out with him. Puff is a business person. When people call him a producer, I see that we're taking advantage of. Who produced things that he took from them? He got the credit. He's not a producer. He's been able to take advantage of the business and the creatives in it. I don't have any interest in doing that. I actually fall under the creative, so I just didn't take to hanging out with that. There have been so many silent voices when it comes to what's going on with Diddy, as if people were afraid to speak up. Why? Some of them were involved, and he's telling facts right there at the parties and enjoyed themselves. So they don't know what the F is on the tape or what's not on the tape. So they're not going to say anything because they might have too much, they might have had too much fun. And then you got other people who look and go, well, that's not my business, and I don't want to be in it. They got you they got a part of our culture that says that's snitching or dry snitching or stuff like that. It's not uncomfortable for me to say what I said because I've been saying this stuff for 4 years, 5 years. I've been telling you, I don't F with him. I don't like the way he's moving. This is a little crazy. Everybody else is going to be as comfortable as I am saying it. You and Mary J. Blige have got a great relationship, and she's also close friends with Diddy. I wonder if she had reached out to you. No, no, no. You know what? Mary never reached out to me to tell me not to F up Puffy because she knows that he does, stuff. Your ex and child mother, Daphne Joy, who was named in Little Rodney Jones' lawsuit against Diddy, claimed you art and physically abused her in a social media post. She has since deleted it. You're suing her for defamation. What's happening? For me, I pussyfoot around the Daphne stuff, and I'll tell you why. I got a family court case. The allegations that came out, she posted things to her page saying some crazy stuff. but this comes 8 hours after I filed for custody for my son. And she put that up in response to that. And I'm like, in this climate, you know how quickly they pass judgment. Things have worked out since she said those things have worked out since she said those things. I had my son on Father's Day and we chilled. I like to respond and say wild stuff, but I got to sustain that for my son. Were you worried? Because regardless of what's real or not, those claims can be damaging, especially because you're making a doc about somebody who is an abuser. It is damaging. It is damaging just to have anything said about you at this point, because you have people out there who don't believe in your intentions. And if things are going in a positive direction for you and something pops up, they go gas. This is what we have been waiting for entertainment purposes. They exploit that as much as possible, but there is no merit to it. Some critics has pointed out that Dr. Dre has an abusive past and he's your mentor, and have wondered if that contradicts you producing the Diddy doc. It's fine that they would feel whatever they feel, because I don't know what is true or what's not true about that situation. And things date back to before I even signed to Dr. Dre. But this would mean not acknowledging all the things that are positive about him, all the successes I have had and everything, because that's the time frame we are talking about. Look, it may irritate people that have heard that. That's crazy to think that you would not produce a doc series now based on that as well. You opened a studio in Shreveport, Louisiana. What made you want to do that? It's given me a bigger responsibility. The studio itself is for me to create content, to go make television shows and films and stuff like that. But Shreveport, I had to be able to create an experience for people to come. So I started investing in the downtown area, buying properties and stuff. I got to revitalize that along with the studio. And I'm sure everyone can't see my vision for it, because I look at things like, nah, it's going to be like this. My career has been like that. My life has been like that. I've been able to firmly believe in things where there's not much around me to support the idea in the beginning, but allows me to be passionate enough to work in that area until it actually works. That's tunnel vision. What can we expect from your upcoming Fast channel? It's a huge difference from the Stars format. Stars is subscriber based. This one is free and ad supported. There's going to be new content in there, but I got access to a huge library of action films. It's got to be premium. I don't want to see me like I see my people on Tubi. I'll make sure the quality of everything is there. The platform has to be to fit. It has to be able to fit my original material. So you'll see the Power series. Those verses will be there. BMF. Now it has a spinoff show coming. Give me 1 year and I'll be ranked the highest Fast channel. This man is no joke. Do you think your production empire would get to this level when you were starting out? No. This is mirroring my music career. My first album turned into the largest debut in hip hop, 13 million copies sold. The first television show I produced became the highest rated show on the entire network. So when that happens, the building kind of leans towards you. What other ideas you got going on over there? It gave me the ability to do more. I had to persuade them. Stars was very difficult because they weren't acknowledging how significant it was. There were points that I had to say, you know what? You'll know what time it is, because it was taking 6 months for us to come back when I just had Power. And at that point, they had lost 40% of their subscribers. They just turned it off because they just turned it off because they were only waiting for Power. I'm like, I know I haven't been doing this as long as you guys have been doing it, but you're not acknowledging that you got a programming issue. I'm not your problem. Your programming is your problem. What you need is more. Have there been people who served as Hollywood mentors? When you say mentor, I look at people in positions and go, how did you get to that position? And I'll do my research. My coolest experience was with Tyler Perry, because there were points that I was feeling resistance as I was going. What is this? because I'm not feeling the energy surrounding being number one for 10 years consecutively with multiple shows. And there was a point that I was with a group entertaining the idea of buying BET, and they couldn't tell me what BET was worth without Tyler. They were trying to sell it for 3 billion and couldn't tell me what it was worth without Tyler. So I looked and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Then when I stopped by his studios, I immediately identified with how he was moving faster the pace. We have the old Hollywood pace, the old. We are doing white Hollywood. He's doing a diverse version of Hollywood that has to move faster to make more. And you don't have the compromised quality. You will notice the difference in the premium programming when it's done correctly. It's just better planning. That definitely changed my perspective. Perry complimented you in a recent interview. Do you guys have something in the works? He said if I wanted to do something and I'm saying, yes, let's do it. Now we just got to go. Now we just got to sort out what that will be. Power has never earned an Emmy nomination, while the Game of Thrones has won 59 from the 159 nods. And I always thought it was interesting that the final season of Power had its premiere at Madison Square Garden, but Game of Thrones, the final season, only premiered at Radio City. How did you pull that off? I was able to convince stars that what they felt was big wasn't what they felt was big wasn't big to me. They think the Chinese theater in California is it. I'm like, okay, Radio City Music Hall, Madison Square Garden. I'll sell those as out in a blink and I'll go. Wait, why do you think there will be an issue? Are you not sure that what's happening is actually happening? And I had to talk them into it to get them to support the Radio City music idea first. There were people standing outside. When you use prestigious venues, landmarks, people get dressed to go to Radio City Music Hall. They will clean up for that. When you look good, we feel good, right? They take pictures now and post. Going to the Power premiere, and it's got so much coverage that they didn't know they were paying for it. I felt like we were paying for a premiere, not for each individual who documented the experience. And it turned out that we premiered far higher than the prior season. He's a genius when it comes to that. Then I'm like, yo, that was cool, but let's do it bigger. And they're looking like, how many people? Are you sure that's not going to be a problem? If they have to pay for what went on at that premiere, it would have cost them 3 million to 4 million. It definitely created a cultural event, the largest premiere for any television show. That's crazy. Do you feel like if Power audience wasn't predominantly black, it would get more attention in awards? I do. And the acknowledgement that's missing, I received from Tyler. He understands it. He goes through it all the time. He never received a competitive Emmy nomination. He was honored with the Governor's Award in 2020. Have you ever had conversations with the Television Academy? I have done that several times. What were the conversations like? Did any of it make sense? No, it does not make sense. The easiest way to point out to the public is actual facts. When the show is clearly number one in the African American households, if you don't want to acknowledge it, you don't want to acknowledge African Americans and Latinos. It's a choice. I don't know if it's okay, but it's a choice. You have won an Emmy alongside Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Jay-Z for the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. When the lineup for the show was first announced, your name was not on the list. You came out as a surprise. They wanted to leave me out of it. They didn't want me there. Who is they? Rock Nation. Yeah, they didn't want me there. Eminem wouldn't do it without me. That's how I ended up on the showcase, because he was not coming if I didn't do it. When that happens, you go, damn. So you just lost Eminem because you didn't want to bring 50? Damn. All right, bring 50 then. But if it was up to them, they would not have had me there. I'm the surprise. I'm the one. I'm not on the bill at all. But they couldn't get M if they did it with if they couldn't get M to do it without me. What are your thoughts on the Grammys? I don't care about them. They don't mean anything. It's an acknowledgement of the success of the project, and the excitement is to be in the room with your peers. Other than that, what is the acknowledgement? It doesn't mean anything. I haven't even seen anyone in a bad financial space where they would sell their Grammys. Then it would mean something that you received that this award. It has zero value. Do you vote at the Grammys? No. I don't know who's voting in that S. It's crazy. Whoever they are, they're off at Beyonce's house because she has 30 of them. Messy. A lot of people on the level, on your level, don't handle their own social media accounts, but that's definitely you on Instagram, right? Yes. I try to not take things so seriously on social media in general. You see the worst things that you could see about yourself when you're a celebrity. You see things that will address your emotional state. If you're not prepared for it, and I'm so accustomed to that, I'll go, okay. As a metaphor, a person across the street looks at you, and because they see the clothes you got on, they assume, right? He thinks he's smarter than all of us, and they assume that, and they don't know you. Are you the kind of person that would go across the street? Because that would require energy for you to cross the street. For me, the position that I'm in makes me look across the street, and if I identify it as something negative or uncomfortable, then I don't go across the street to explain myself. I will simply say F you from across the street, and I keep going. And I only do this because it doesn't affect me emotionally, then it doesn't slow me down from my journey. You were featured on Monster from Michael Jackson posthumous album 2010, Michael, but the song and two others were removed from the streaming services in 2022 because people questioned the authenticity of Michael's vocals. Do you feel like Michael was singing on Monster? There were definitely those were definitely Michael vocals. You know what's crazy? Teddy Riley, who worked on Michael's 1991 Dangerous album, produced that record. And Chris Tucker will tell you how excited Michael was about the music I was making. You and Michael didn't record together, right? Yeah, the communication about doing it started before he passed in 2009. And when he died, Teddy was like, you gotta do this joint. Monster was like his new thriller. I was like, yo, definitely, let's do it. I was excited to do it. Did Michael ever get a chance? Did you and Michael ever get a chance to meet? No, I didn't. You know how excited I was to record that record because I had the Michael Jackson photo when he was moonwalking and the street was lighting up during Billie Jean. That S was over my bed when I was growing up, and he was the coolest person in the world. At that point, there was nobody cooler than Mike. Is there anything that you regretted doing? Regret it? Look, I think we wasted too much time arguing. Me and Fat Joe, me and Cameron. There's other guys like Jada Kiss. We cleared it up easier, but we wasted time because it was just the competitive nature. It wasn't like we crossed paths and had real heat for each other. It went on more with Joe because he's more like me. He's closer in character to me. When we were at Oz, we were at Oz, and we did that for a long time. And because of his loyalty to Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, because he worked with them, I was seeing him not. I was seeing him not be happy from the things that were making me happy. It's easy for me to say F you. If what makes me happy makes you unhappy, then you're not on the same page and it turns into some stuff. And I couldn't pinpoint what exactly happened. When you look back at it, you go, wait, what happened? Because we didn't even have an altercation or no specific thing that created it. Now he's like my friend, and I don't care that he has relationships with people that I don't, because he's always had those relationships. Did you ever see Kendrick and Drake being friends? This is hip hop. I think it's competitive to a degree. Obviously, even Drake has position in the attitude and his choices. Those are 50 choices. F it. Everybody got it. Then when it becomes Drake versus Kendrick, it's because it's the only thing you can put up against Drake's success. Look, our culture loves to see you go up because it's confirmation that they can go up. But when you stay up, I want this S forever, man, they go. Well, goddamn, when you going to come down, if you don't come down, ain't going to have my chance to go up. And then it's these clouds that come over you, and that cloud is doubt, a shadow of doubt that doesn't come from material or your work ethic. It's doubt from the artist community where they say, I don't know, his new S is cool, but it's not his first S. They do that to you, and Drake's just experiencing what you experience as backlash from success, from the consistency he delivered over and over. I don't see a loss for Drake. The people who brought Drake material are going to buy Drake material when his next song comes out. Now the shit that I do, it ruins your whole effing career. Speaking of these, have you ever talked to Ja Rule? Nah. Great pictures. Whoever took these pictures, good wardrobe. Whoever styled him for these pictures. 50 Cent is definitely a force to be reckoned with. 50 Cent is definitely a troll. Okay, he knows how to troll, but 50 Cent is definitely giving movies and shows that the culture and the people truly, truly love and enjoy. I like 50. And I do hope that. Well, I think one is sad that Daphne Joy lied on him. And that's his baby mother, and I respect that. In this article, he said, "I'm gonna lean back because we got a son together. I'm not going to talk about that." But if he did do it to Daphne Joy said, I don't know what's going on with the men in the industry. But I thought this was a good interview that they did. I think they took great pictures. And I think, like Art Kelly, if 50 Cent has a lot of people speaking in this documentary that we haven't heard from and that others could not get to speak, it may be the downfall of Diddy. Like when they did Surviving R. Kelly was the downfall of R. Kelly. This 50 Cent documentary may be the downfall of Diddy. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this 50 Cent interview. I thought it was a great interview, very enlightening. But above all, this man is a genius in terms of his production company, the shows he produced, and everything that he has done with his career. And just expanding it beyond music. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.